Now it's time for On Point, where we speak to experts to delve deeper into the biggest news stories in the spotlight right now. It is Friday, so we're going to take a look at a lighter topic with the weekend just around the corner, but still an issue of importance to people here. South Korea is seeking to have Hanji, or the nation's traditional paper making, included on UNESCO's intangible cultural heritage list. Some local experts are deeply concerned Hanji could be in danger of dying out unless it's recognized by the global agency. Hanji has been made the same way for centuries now, and it really is a skill that has been passed down from generation to generation, is commonly referred to as 100 paper, as that is the number of stages required by hand to make each piece.
Now, given how complex it is to learn and then perfect, it can often take people years, even decades, to master the technique. In recent years, its decline has also been marked, hence the push to give it more prestige and to better maintain the tradition by having it listed by UNESCO. For more, we connect to Dr. Lee Oh-kyu from the National Institute of Forest Science in Seoul. Good morning, Dr. Lee.
Good morning, everybody.
Thank you for joining us. So firstly, other East Asian countries like China and Japan are also well known for their ancient use of paper. But what makes Hanji stand out from paper made from those countries?
Yeah, all paper from Korea, China, and Japan, especially manufactured in traditional manner, has its own specialties in a certain criteria. Major differences of papers between Korea, China, and Japan are source materials and the way of manufacturing. Under this situation, Korean traditional paper Hanji received international attention, especially in European countries, recent years. In case of Italy, they reported that one of the Leonardo da Vinci's works and many important cultural heritage made of paper have been restored using Hanji. Then what makes Hanji so special? Then Hanji's extraordinary property from the others is its tenacity. It is very strong and very flexible at the same time. Also, it is barely torn apart unless it gets wet. These specialties are due to the source material is a bark of daknamu, which is a cousin of tree paper mulberry, and due to a unique paper forming process called 흘림뜨기, which is Korea invented. In this Korean invented process, multi-layers of fibers from the bark of daknamu sit on a sheet of Hanji within crossly laminated manner. So far, Korea has 16 items on the list of UNESCO's Memory of the World, and it is ranked 4th place in the world and the 1st place in Asia. 10 items out of the 16 are made of Hanji, and this makes Hanji more special.
Okay, now you did go into a little bit of detail about the process of how Hanji is produced. We mentioned before we introduce you how it is an incredibly complex process. But if, for our visitors overseas, just explain the steps that are required to make it.
Okay, I'll try to make it easier. To make Hanji, of course, daknamu has to be harvested. I mentioned the daknamu is the source material. Then 1 or 2 years old shoots are cut during the winter time. The harvested shoots are steamed to make debarking easier. And debarking, after the debarking, the outer skin is scraped using a knife called dakkar in Korean. And the remaining whitish inner bark is called baekpi in Korean. Then the baekpi is cooked in a lye solution for softening. The lye is made from the ash of agricultural byproducts like beanstalks. The cooked backpea is washed in a clean water and bleached in sunlight and is beaten with a wooden bat till it becomes pounded fibers. For formation of paper sheet, the fibers are put in a large vat containing a mixture of water and plant mucilage and mix them well. Finally, using a combination of mold and mold cover. In Korean, those are bartel and bar. And the combination, using that combination, scoop the mixture several times from the vat, and the resulting thin multi-layered fibers become a sheet of hanji when it dries.
Wow, that's a lot of complex procedures to make hanji.
Yep.
Just recognize it now. But now on the move to get hanji included on the UNESCO World Intangible Cultural Heritage List, what does the listing process involve?
Well, there may be multiple steps for inclusion on the intangible cultural heritage of humanity list. The most important step is preparation of appropriate representative list of ICH of humanity. When it is ready, Korean government hand that into the Committee of ICH Humanity, and then the committee evaluate and make a decision.
And finally then, so the move to list Hanji on UNESCO's list is nothing new. Korea has really been pushing hard for this for years now. And everything you mentioned makes it sound like it really ticks all the boxes required to be included on the list. So why is it taking so long?
Yeah, I heard that Hanji has to be included on the UNESCO's ICH humanity for over a decade. There could be some difficulties in the process, but fortunately, last year, a corporation was established to support Hanji being listed in ICH of Humanity. The leader of corporation is Lee Bae-yong, who already led Seowon, which is a Korean Neo-Confucian Academy, to be one of UNESCO's World Heritage in 2019. The corporation drives active movements. It already organized 4 academic conferences in 11 years, and more comes. So they said they will help Hanji being listed in 2026. I also am crossing my fingers for that. So far, there may be some obstacles, but in the future, I think it's very bright.
Well, let's all hope to see Hanji on the list. Thank you so much, Dr. Lee, for your insights. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.